This is the Chimera. This is the story of how, after years of dreaming about this legendary masterpiece, I finally got to recreate my own version with the help of 300 people watching this channel. I've been watching this dress for many years, dreaming about it, thinking how I could ever make something like that. It is the most beautiful piece of clothing in the world, and there's nothing you can say that would change my mind about it. I think I want to try to make it a project for this year, but I will need some help. I will need your help. It's like... wow. The Chimera by Mugler is the most beautiful dress in the world, and that is not my opinion, it's a fact. Deal with it. It is also one of the most expensive haute couture dresses in fashion history, as it took 2 years of work and research to make, and required thousands of hours of work by a team of 20 people. It is a masterpiece of creativity and craftsmanship. It is also a testament of Mugler's love for nature and wildlife, as to make the human hybrid of many animals. Is it a lizard, a dragon, a mermaid, a bird? There's also hair on this thing. There is a corset, there's feathers, crystals. I saw it in person at the Couturissime exhibition in Paris, and I honestly had my eyes wet, okay? I'm not even joking. It's all seductive and glamorous, but also weird and creepy and what? What is this? It's perfect. So, back to us. This dress took 6 weeks to make for a team of 20 people. So in the hypothesis that I am as good as all of them in their respective fields, which, both quoi, it will take one person 120 weeks to make. That is 2.3 years. So I can't make it. I can't stay focused on the same project for that long. And I have a YouTube channel to run. What are you gonna watch? Me doing the same thing for 2 years? No, I understand. I wouldn't. But I was thinking of a solution. A community solution. I've seen some very cool creators launching community projects. We have Nani from Seamstress with her pom-pom dress, who actually gave me some advice on this. We have Jenna Phillips with her crochet flowers dress. I know other with patchworks. And I think this is such a cool idea. I would want to participate in something like that. This channel is almost at 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Merci. So I think to celebrate the 100K, it's cool to launch a community project of the most beautiful thing in the world that's been in my dreams for so many years, and we can make it together. So here's the plan. If you are interested, I need you to make scales. I did some very intense calculations, and I need between 5,000 to 10,000 scales to make this monster. I made a few already. Let me show you. I went through my scraps in search of anything shiny, making a few paper templates just to check out the size on my mannequin. I need 3 sizes, small, medium and big. It can be a good way to use those very tiny scraps that are hard to find a use for. The easiest way is just to cut 2 pieces with the shiny part inside, so around the edges leaving the top open. Clip the excess seam allowance at the point. You can also do some notches on the curved edges. Turn it inside out and make it flat. Just crush it with the iron. I really need the scales to be flat and not too bulky. If the fabric is fraying a lot, maybe just a little zigzag stitch on the edge to protect it. I will manipulate the project a lot to add the thousands of scales, so let's just make sure that they don't disintegrate. And that's it for the simple one. Maybe an even simpler way would be to use a wood burning tool on a synthetic material. Cutting the material with this will just melt the edges and make sure that they don't fray, and it would make it super flat. But you can make it as simple or complicated as you wish. It can be absolutely any color that you want. It's not an obligation, but I would really appreciate it if you found any way to make it shiny, because I think one of the appeal of this dress is just that it is so sparkly and the shine makes the scales more interesting and magical. I'm asking for scales made out of fabric because I'm not sewing them by hand. The original dress has some scales made out of metal and glass and resin. They had little holes to be sewn by hand, but here they need to be sewn with the sewing machine, like a regular, non-industrial sewing machine. They also need to be washable, at least on delicate. So if you use paint or any product, just make sure that it doesn't dissolve in water. There are many ways to embellish a little piece of fabric. Maybe it could be an opportunity to try a lot of little different crafts on a very small piece of fabric. You can add some cheap rhinestones, add beading, any glitter. You can add sequins. You can just paint it, like make a little mini portrait of your cat. And you can sign it on the back. They will be assembled on a strong corseted foundation, and the design might also depend on how much I receive. Do I need to make the skirt shorter and scrap the sleeves? Am I making a giant skirt with very long sleeves and a cape? We don't know. My plan is to start assembling it in a year, but it all depends on you. I have set up a PO box system where you can send the envelopes. I don't have all the options for this postal service, so no big boxes, no more than this size. By my estimation, I need to fill this tub. So I don't know how long it's going to take to fill this up. I will continue to make some myself with the scrap fabric of my project. And as soon as I have enough, I can start on the project. Maybe I will have enough in 6 months. Maybe I will get like 5. So I don't know exactly when I'm going to make this, or even if it's going to happen. I can't know. And if it happens, I don't even know which color it's going to be. Will it be super dark, mostly white, red, gold, a full rainbow? I'm really hoping to make gradients anyways. What if I get like 5 scales? I will really have to reevaluate my decisions. Maybe I'll make just a little coin purse or something. So if you want to participate, I will put all the info in the description, and I will keep you posted on the stuff I receive. It could be a nice little segment in other videos, like, look, I got a blue one. Anyways, this is kind of scary. But cheers to a new year, hopefully full of different projects. I hope you will try new things. I hope you will try all the different crafts. Do the things that make you happy. Subscribe, et au revoir. Bonjour, I am Ariel, your friendly French crafter, and this is my biggest project of the year. Maybe of my life, we'll see. I saw this dress at an exposition in Paris, and I'm not kidding, I just had tears in my eye when I saw it. Because it has been in my mood board for, I don't know, since I was a teenager, and it did not disappoint. It's literally covered in thousands of beads, crystals, feathers, hair. There's metal and sequins and lace. It is le bisou du chef. Ça marche pas trop en français. I can't make it, unfortunately. At least, not on my own. Wink. So in the beginning of 2024, I asked you behind your screen, I see you are doing your craft while watching the videos. You're fine, I do the same. So I asked anyone who was interested in participating in this project to send me a scale. And then I actually started receiving envelopes from you, from crafters around the world. So I started streaming to open the envelopes live so anyone could see their scales being opened. Next, we have USA. Ooh, this is shiny. And then I started to receive packages. They were getting bigger. Okay, shall we open the big one? Okay, let's go. Oh la la. Oh la la, Germany, là. What's going on? Okay. By my estimation, I need to fill this tub. And as soon as I have enough, I can start on the project. Maybe I will have enough in 6 months. Maybe I will get like 5. I will really have to reevaluate my decisions. What have I done? I needed 5,000 scales to make the dress, and I received 13,026 scales. I even have to make a spreadsheet because that's 282 packages from 29 countries. And there were so many nice little letters and notes and drawings. You are awesome. Thank you. So now what? First, organizing all of them by color, and then I can make a plan, because I don't even know what color this dress is going to be yet. I might tweak the original design a little bit to incorporate as many scales that I can, while still keeping the essence of the original design. And then I can start actually doing some mock-ups and making the base structure that is going to be covered in scales. And all of that before December, because big announcement, I'm coming to the USA. Woo! I'm going to see Broadway and cowboys and Walmart. I don't know. I'm excited, okay. I've been invited to guest at Holiday Matsuri from the 20th to 22nd of December in Orlando. And I will also be taking this opportunity of a trip to take a vacation. I'm going to New York for the first time. But the plan is that I have to finish the dress and I will be wearing it for one day while doing panels. And the dress should be displayed at the convention center for the rest of the days. I am so happy about that because all this work that you have done, there are thousands of hours of work in there, okay? And all this work done by hundreds of people is going to be seen in real life, in reality, by thousands of people over there at the convention, and I'm really excited about that. Which means I have so much pressure to make it nice. No problem. So, I should start right away. First step, organization. Let's go. So, 500,000 scales, but I have these cardboard boxes from when I was redoing my kitchen. Every drawer came separately, but I'm glad I kept them because they are going to be used for organizing all the scales. One, blue.
Primeira vez que eu te vi, menina, meu coração pulou pra boca. Da primeira vez que eu te vi, menina, meu coração pulou pra boca.
This one is made of elastics. This is gonna take so long. Hogwarts houses in beads. Wow. Okay, I think I found a technique. I have taped a scale around the table in a rainbow color, and I take just a little bit here and I dispatch them. And when the pile is big enough, I just take it and it goes in its correct color. Also, look at this watermelon. It's hand embroidered. If you want to help support me on this ridiculously ambitious project, you can come over to my Patreon. A big shout out and thank you to the people already here. You are making this channel possible and I appreciate your support so much. Ooh. Crochet. I know this one, this is Stefano. Okay, new setup. I have the pile here at the front and I put the colors on the side. So I just choose a color and rummage through the pile and put it in where it belongs. So here's red. Look at this one! So cute! And this one, very classy. Gold or purple? What am I supposed to do with this? What have I done? Yellow? Blue? Check this out. What color is this? The answer is all. No, tu mélanges tout. Okay, we are getting close. Here, 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 here. Ça va? Oh. Work, 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 work. Ouh là là, non, non, non. Ah, il y en a tellement. On n'a même pas la moitié. Genre là, je sais pas. Là. Non mais non, tu peux pas la mettre comme ça. Il faut choisir. C'est là. Non. Ouais bon, c'est là. This box is for scales that don't have a strong enough primary color, so they will be used for transitions between the other colors. We call this box the Desigual box. Regarde, j'ai fait un ange dans la neige. Le croissant! The little Google dinosaur! Was this one used? We'll never know, but I'm keeping it. That was 3 days of just organizing the scales. Just sorting through them. I haven't started anything on the dress. This is a really big project. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it, but I will keep going. I think I'm starting to visualize the thing now that I know more of the amount of color that I have. There is so much to do. Also, it is going to be heavy, so I might need to start exercising if I want to wear all this on my back. Will I succeed in this project? I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. But I will try my best, at least for all the people who put this much work into sending me something. I'm gonna take a little nap now because there's a lot of projects coming, so stay tuned. Anyways, I have now 13,000 scales and I need to turn them into a dress before December. We are in the end of October. So like, no pressure. And it's not like 285 of my viewers has spent, but I think it's thousands of combined hours on these scales. All of these little intricate pieces of art from around the world, which are now in my sewing room waiting to be turned into something wearable. Okay, also, do you like my jacket? I found it after a few years. It was part of the first suit that I made. I think it looks pretty cool. It was inspired by the Fifth Element. Stop that, I have work to do. Let's go and design my own dress. Thierry, si tu m'entends, donne-moi la force. Let's go! Rebonjour. Let's go to design phase. Please enjoy my patriotic t-shirt. Where do you think I got it? That's right, Japan. We have to understand how this dress was made, list all the potential problems that I will have and the changes that I will have to make on my dress, and design exactly what this project is going to look like. I have kindly been sent this book. The publishers do deep dives on various famous designers. There's a ton of interesting stories and images and souvenirs from the creators, like notes, messages, technical documents, and there are a few spreads on this specific collection, especially these pages. I wish we could see the rest of this picture, but drawings. Even on her, the corset is very tight. So I've drawn how I think the dress is made. This picture is extremely interesting. So there is a corset attached to the rest. I don't know if she would have been wearing another one underneath. I think this is the main one because of all the boning that we see. And another thing that you see is that there are eyelets here on the back of the neck. Right here, it's not the color of the mannequin, it's a little bit darker. The base of the skirt might be in some kind of sheer. Something very strong might be horsehair. And you see these, which I don't think they are boning channel. I think they are some kind of ribbon to help with the weight of the skirt. This is obviously made of corset canvas. I think I have this kind of thing. I have a piece to show you. This is usually the stuff we use to make corsets, and very often it has this specific motif, and I think it's the same one here. So I think everything is attached together with boned corset, a sheer skirt that has these strengthening strips of ribbon or maybe grosgrain. They look slightly shiny, maybe it's like satin ribbon. I remember somewhere that I found pictures of lacing in the back, and with the eyelet visible here, I think there is lacing all over the back, maybe even until the widest part of the body, the hips. And these will be hidden in the scales, or maybe there is a flap of fabric coming over the lacing, I don't know. So this is my guess on how the dress is constructed. But look at her. Do you think she will be able to run towards the exit in case of an emergency? I have a few things to take into considerations. Let's list them. I will be wearing this dress for a whole day at a convention in another country, and hopefully more times than that. And I am not a supermodel, and I'm not going to be tight lacing. I need to be able to dress myself on my own, probably in a hotel room where I have to travel to the convention afterwards. So comfort and movement would definitely have to be improved from the original design. I need to be able to go to the bathroom without removing the whole thing. Being able to eat. It is going to be super heavy, and I'm probably going to sweat because I'm going to Florida. Obviously storage, we're gonna add pockets. I need to bring it on my trip there, so it has to fit in my suitcase as well. And of course I have 25 billion scales to add to it, so I will alter the design to fit as much as I can on this dress. I know it was suggested, but no, I am not making two of them. Let's get them out! So these are all the scales. If you haven't seen the video, organize all of them by color. There are about 13,000 of them. So, the plan. Here is my secret plan. I'm going to separate it into 6 pieces. First, for snatching the waist, I'm going to have a little corset underneath, separate from the dress. It's going to be under bust, so it will tighten the waist, but also support the weight of the skirt, which is going to be super heavy. On top of that undergarment, we're gonna have the skirt. I'm going to make it slightly less tight than the original, so I can walk with a bit more flare in the back. One of my plans for adding more scales to the dress is to add a train. It was actually also suggested a lot in the comments of my last video about the dress. It is going to be a detachable train. I could have like a runway with it, and also it's going to look nice when it's on exhibition at the center. But also for just moving around, I can have like a not too much of a train, just a little bit still. Next, we're gonna have a top, which is not gonna have sleeves for ventilation purposes and just general comfort and be able to move around better. It's going to have some structure, like a corset, but it's more like to support the weight of the thing that's gonna be on top of that, which are the scales and especially the metal thing at the front. Let's call it the metal abdomen. This top will be laced up at the back. On top of that, I'm going to have a little cape. This is my second plan to add a lot of scales to this design. I really love this tiny jacket. It is is going to be this concept, but without the pointy sleeves. I want them round. And also these sleeves are opened, so I can have this longer. It's like kind of a cape, but it's not hiding the dress. I think it's the best way to combine adding more fabric without hiding the dress. And also that way I can have different colors on the outside of the cape and the inside. Maybe scales on both sides, we'll see if I can lift it up. And then the headdress, it's mostly made of feather on the original. I'm gonna try to find a way to make it with scales. And because my arms are gonna be visible in this, I think I'm gonna add gloves, because I love like a long glove. And I can cover it in scales and add long nails. But also I can remove it to use my phone or eat. For now, I think this is the best design to combine all the problems that I have, while still being true to this original design. And also I really want it to be well constructed. For once, I'm going to use only good materials on this. By the way, thank you so much for the support on Patreon. You will get the proper tools and proper material for this. Because 300 people sent me a lot of scales from around the world, and I want to make sure that the final dress is making them shine. Literally, because they are very sparkly. So let's go with this very properly and work on a nice mock-up. I'm going to be very serious on this project, guys. We can do this! Je suis malade. Let's go. Okay, I'm whipping out the good patterning canvas for this project. To the ironing board! Which is actually just behind. On the right of the screen, you can see all the people that sent me at least one scale with their country. If you are interested, I will put like the spreadsheet link in the description. I think we can make some sort of fun statistics with all those countries. In third place, we have France with 39 people sending me a scale. Second place is Germany with 47 people. And first place goes to the USA with 75 people. And as a reward, I'm coming to show you the dress in December. No, I'm joking. This is just a coincidence. And on the left of the screen, we have, of course, my Patreons, who are the best in the world. And fun fact, we have a few people who are on both lists. So, extra thank you. What I'm doing right now is called draping on a mannequin. I'm bringing pieces of this cotton canvas, and I smooth the fabric into the shape I want and pinning it in place. It's kind of like sculpting the design that you want, but one piece at a time. The technique is not very complicated, but it takes a little time to get it right. I think you have to do it over and over to just train your eye to make sure that you can see the proportions, even if it's on something that's halfway done. It's kind of like sketching your design. It's not difficult to hold a pencil, but for your drawing in the end to look like something that you want, you just have to train. Just practice, practice, practice. I have learned the basic of this technique in fashion school, and I've just been practicing it for many years. But once you are getting good at it, it's like feeling like you have a superpower. You can make any design that you have in your head appear in the 3D world. I think it's like my favorite part, but it's also the shortest. Okay, so here she is. The sleeve might be a little bit too big, and I think this shape is better than what I had planned on this drawing. Maybe the jacket will go higher, but it's better to have longer. The skirt, I think the shape is nice, but we will see when we have like a full one, because with half a skirt it's hard to decide exactly. And if we remove the jacket, I'm not sure about the shape of the bottom of the corset because I want all the metal attached to this, so the skirt can be separate. Maybe this will go like this, I don't know yet. But yeah, this is the basic shape. I'm going to transfer everything to paper and then I can make a mock-up. This mannequin is not exactly my shape. It has a very long torso and I'm kind of a little bit wider, so I need a wearable mock-up. Let's write down where all the seams are. Notches. The easiest way to transfer your pattern to paper is to use a roulette. You iron each piece very flat, spread it on your paper, and the roulette will go through the fabric, etching little dots onto the paper. For paper, I'm using these sheets of paper that are from an old paperboard. It's not the most practical, but it works fine. You can use whatever you have on hand. I've traced the top. I'm sorry, it's barely visible, but I already know things that I have to change. So I already know that I have to reduce this and also reduce the back a little bit. Okay, pattern is done, all the pieces have been cut, ready to assemble, but I am tired today, so I'm going to sleep. Tomorrow we assemble the mock-up and I can try it on. Will this be a disaster? I don't know. Maybe. It's the next day. Let's assemble this mock-up so I can try it on. N'est-ce pas, bébou? We have our pieces, let's get ready to assemble. And yes, somebody drooled on my pattern papers. N'est-ce pas? Okay, well, this one is doing emotional support. I have done a mock-up. As you can see, the shape is slightly bigger than the original, and the sleeve might also be too big. I don't know. There's probably a ton of work to do at the waist because it is not very cinched right now. I need to try it on with the corset. Hello! So, it's not bad, but there are plenty of adjustments to make. First of all, the general shape. I thought I wasn't going to like the little bit flared skirt, but I think it looks great. I'll keep it like this for now. But the sleeve, although I really like the vibe, I think it's just too big. I mean, that's a pretty shape, but it's too like medieval. I think it's too strong of a concept. So I'm keeping the general thing, I'm just going to make it a lot more narrow. It looks nice. The skirt might be a little too tight around the hips. It just keeps gripping up because there is not enough room. See those splits, even though I'm standing up, it's just too tight. The waist is not too bad, there's just a bit too much fabric because with the corset I have more of a waist than this, so I'm just going to remove a little bit of fabric just right there, and also with the boning I think it's going to stand up a lot better. I don't know if you see it right, but there is space over there because if I close it it's too tight around the hips, so I need to add more volume. For the butt again, I'm going to add a little bit more fabric here to hide to keep the boobie from running out. And also I didn't realize that my neck is a bit bigger than the one on the mannequin, so this is not sitting properly. I think I remove a bit too much here and this needs to be bigger. That's why you have all those pleats, because it's pushing, you know, too much like this. Okay, I've adjusted the pattern. On the top I removed a little bit at the waist everywhere, but also adding a little bit at the hips. I fixed the pleats at the waist. On the chest I made it a little longer and I added some fabric here on the side of the boob. And also I added a little bit of fabric on the back of the collar, here. The top of the jacket was fine, and the sleeve I reduced the size of it and I made it into one piece. I think I'm gonna add a pocket in the sleeve, that would be fun. And for the skirt I added a little bit at the hips and removed a little bit at the knee, so it's more like a mermaid shape. And this one has not moved in 2 hours. Pardon, oui. Ça dort fort. Oh oui. I I am happy enough with the pattern, but still when I cut the structure of the garment, I'm gonna add some fabric everywhere on the seams. Because first I might change the kind of undergarment that I have. Not sure about that, but also with the weight of the scales and the volume of them, I don't know how much it is going to impact the silhouette. Maybe the weight of the sleeves is going to pull too much on the fabric of the jacket. Maybe the metal at the front is going to distort the corset thing. And with the volume of all the scales, I might have to add or remove some fabric at the seams. But I won't know any of that until I start constructing. So we need to start on the fabric. So I guess I need to get some fabric. So that's where we are now, finally starting on doing the real thing. And as many scales as I have, I need some fabric to sew them on. And that means, let's go shopping in Paris. Let's go. For now, let's go to the best shop in Paris, which is this tiny one here. It's mostly notions, but it's where like all the professionals in the district go. Excellent prices, highly recommended, 5 stars. I can totally see it. Lies. And now to the fabric district, which is on top of a hill. Oh no! Welcome to the Sacré-Cœur. Everywhere, tourists. Don't do that. I absolutely love the miniature mannequins in this shop. As usual, I spent way too much time looking at all the fabric available. But for once, I was very good and didn't buy anything that I didn't need, even though I was very tempted. I bought very good corset canvas and a lot of very strong horsehair fabric. Both very technical fabrics and very expensive ones. Also, I needed shoes for this dress. Let's hope I can walk in those. And it was nice to hang out in the fabric district with new friends. Vous restez naturel. Hello. Oh, you wanted to see some monuments? Well, no. It's okay, I don't have time for visiting. Let's go home and get to work. La vie est très dure par ici. N'est-ce pas? Okay, let's start cutting. I'm going to start cutting the horsehair to make the skirt. The skirt is underneath the corset, so it's the best way to start with this piece. I'm literally on the first step and there's already a problem. This shrinks! Oh no! This is iron, this is not, and you see those wrinkles. It's not a lot, so I'm going to heat it up as much as I can now. And afterwards I have to be very careful and almost not iron it anymore. I did buy more fabric than necessary. This is in case I have to recut some pieces. There are no stores nearby. I am definitely filling the room with humidity. As you can see here. Shtoing. I can roll the fabric so it doesn't get wrinkles. And also for storage. I think it's not a bad idea to have too much fabric for those technical ones. They can be used in many different projects. The pattern is self-drafted, it's in the previous video if you haven't seen it. I made a few changes from the original. You can't really see it, but I've cut the main pieces. It's all transparent, so you barely see them. But this horsehair fabric, although it's pretty strong and resistant, it also... Look, it frays a lot, so I'm going to serge everything before moving to any more steps. All pieces have been overlocked. This is just pinned on the mannequin, but I don't know, it makes me want to try to make a transparent dress. It looks like the ghost of a dress. That is kind of cool. But these pieces are not finished, there's more prepping to do. Sleeve! Let's add some grosgrain to make it stronger. One from the top of the sleeve and one from the bottom. I'm also adding a horizontal one because you know the sleeves are going to be covered in scales on both sides. The inside will be attached to this level and here will be just the lining. So this is to add strength on this layer. I'm also adding these strengthening strips to the skirt pieces. If you remember when I discovered those lines in the book of the unfinished dress, I'm pretty sure they are here to help support the weight of all of the scales that are going to be added to the skirt. And they are strengthening my darts as well. This thing is gonna weigh a ton. One front and two backs. Let's attach them together at the side, and even though this shot is completely blurry, sorry, I'm adding a strip over this seam. This will strengthen the seam and hide it. All the strengthening strips have been sewn on. They also hide the darts. They hold the side seam in place. And for now I'm leaving the back open because I need the thing to be slightly flat to sew all the scales on. But yeah, I'm going to finish the strengthening of the hem beside the back. Maybe I can start adding a few scales on. She is gonna get scaled up. More horsehair, this time for the hem. Okay, so I know technically I should work on the corset right now, but I'm just too excited. I have to start adding scales. I've tried to make some plans in Photoshop. I know I want the darkest color here at the bottom of the skirt, so I just took out the black. I'm taking out all the black. I made some piles with scales that are identical. I'm putting aside the ones that are the most intricate and most delicate, so I don't put them too close to the bottom. I don't want the beads to get like snagged off. So pretty! So here are officially the first ones. It's starting! I'm so excited! I think I'm gonna go with a black side triangle and see where I go from there. Ah! First needle.
No alto da ladeira, aperitivo e piscina, enquanto na ondina tem jacaré e capelinha.
So I only have this much left for the black big scales. This is all the medium and this is all the small. For the skirt I'm only adding the big ones. Here's the advancement. I have to fill it up a little bit more here with the black. I'm trying to be symmetrical, and also I put the most golden ones here because the center is going to be gold. But yeah, that was only like 3 hours. Maybe this will go faster than expected. I don't want to get my hopes up because this is the kind of things that never happens. Second needle broke. Okay, so now two options. The black will turn into gray over here, and the center will be gold. So, gray, starting with the darkest ones, or gold, also starting with the darkest ones. I think I should do the center and spread it out. Let's go, new box! Gold! So this part is filled up. I think it's already starting to look so cool. I have to decide which colors to fill here. So I think I'm not going to use the gold that is lighter than this for this part. So it still blends with the black and maybe the gray, maybe some brown on the sides. Yeah, I'm going to focus on this part. I've put on like the brightest gold ones that are kind of in this shade. They are just pins right now, so I'm going to sew them and then I can expand because I don't know exactly which color, which shade is going to match everything. Ah. The Desigual box, you know, the scales that didn't match like a very specific color. I'm also taking them out so I can see them to make the transition between the colors. I have my setup with scales absolutely everywhere, and I have like the transition board. So I can just pick up a scale to adjust my colors. I'm trying to decide where to put the colors, never mind those little lonely scales. But in a way, I think like the disposition of those scales are a bit too regular, so although I thought I would have the skirt be only made of the big scales, I think I'm gonna mix with the small ones here and there. That way maybe I can continue the black a little bit with the medium scales. I think having two dark lines on the side will be much better. Maybe it will continue to blue. I'm thinking of having like purple and pink only in the back. I think it will be like a bright surprise if you come from the front. And the front will be just blue-green with the pops of red. And the back is like pink and purple. I don't know, I have to design again. I'm taking all the black that I have left, it's only medium scales now, mixing them up because there are a lot of duplicates, and separating them into two identical piles so I can make it symmetrical. I go by sections and not rows, because even though there was a pattern, there is actually a lot of differences between the size of the scales, so I make sure that I have the point in a place that I like and the rest places itself. It's already starting to look like something. It's going to be so pretty. I've drawn a few lines with threads, so I can kind of color between them. We're gonna start purple over here, blue over here, and the gray to blend the blue, the black, and the purple. I think it's going to work. And I think I want some pink going into white, but I don't exactly know. I need to have the top a little bit more figured out for that, so we're just going to work on the bottom of the skirt for now. I just need an extra table. I got this from the garage. Perfect. The idea is I am choosing a few scales, I'm picking up the colors and separating into two equivalent quantities so I can use that to fill in the gaps and making sure that I have enough for both sides. And I'm using the plastic lids from the box to do that, so I have my little platter of scales ready to be served to the dress. I'm sitting there with the dress on the table and I can pick up the scale from here and poop, poop. Transition from purple works a little bit less better than the transition from gold, but still I'm kind of managing with filling this up with grey. I wish I had more black, but it's fine. It is going to be so pretty. I can't even. I'm sorry. Okay, I've cleaned up the space, I've cleaned up the scales, everything is back in boxes. Now the leftovers are two colors in one box, which means I've used a lot. You can imagine that it is finished, but it's not. So if I want to keep going up with the blue and the pink here, I just need to know what the situation is going to be here. So it is time to work on the corset. This is the chest piece, it goes above the corset and it's connected to the collar. I think I'm gonna separate this into two different types of fabric. The collar is going to be rigid, so it stands up on its own and it's not like around it will be also rigid. But between the rigid corset and the rigid collar, I think I'm gonna add on the front and the back a fabric that is stretchy so I can have some movement like this, being able to slouch a little more or just stretch. It will make the construction a little bit more complicated, but I think it's worth it. So this part rigid, this part stretchy. I've added 1 centimeter all around, just for security. I might cut it off later.
They are all pinned together. This corset canvas is very, very strong. It's perfect for making corsets, even though it is kind of expensive. I'm doing the eyelets in the back so I can try it on to make the final adjustments. Always make sure that you have boning on either side of the eyelets.
Okay, I don't see any measure
issue. So I'm going to make the boning channels and cut the bottom off and add the bones, and we'll see how it fits. So now that I'm sure of the shape, I have flattened the seam on this side, so I have boning channels, and I'm going to cut off the excess and secure it with a zigzag stitch. This is not the proper way to make a corset. You would fold the seam and sew it like this, but I think I can remove a bit of both by just having it flat, because everything is going to be covered in scales. None of this fabric will be visible. The bottom edge is binded with a bias tape. I made it blue because the scales are probably going to be blue in that place. Maybe, and I can insert all the bones, straight flat still on the eyelets and the center front. And spiral still for all the other seams. And after inserting all the bones, the top edge is also binded with bias tape, this time in a lighter blue because that's maybe the color that's gonna be there. The abdomen on the original seems to be made of metal. I think it's brass. So that's what I'm going to do. I've only worked once with metal, but I forge a lot of stuff in video games, so I'm basically an expert. So after a lot of tries, we have a finished pattern for the abdomen. I have removed one segment from the original because I'm not as thin and long as the original, and it started to look too stripy. So with this amount, I think we have a good base for the pattern. And now we need to cut some metal. And all I have is this. Let's hope it works. I have these leftover pieces of brass. Hello! So I'm going to use this side, which still has the protective thing on top of it. The pieces are cut. My hand really hurts. But unless I mess this up, there's no more cutting. I've done some testing. I think on the original, the edge of the metal is folded like this. So I tried it a little bit, but it gives so much texture. I don't know if it's a good idea to do that. And also it's really difficult, especially if I have corners like that. So I'm not sure I have the right tool for that. But also with a bit of grinding, the edge looks like that. Which I don't think looks so different as this. And also I'm using 1mm metal, so it's not that easy to shape. I think grinding and polishing the edges will be the better idea. Now for the little ridge thing. I've marked where I want to add it. This is the inside of the piece. We still have the protective layer on the outside. So the idea is to use this. And this, and some leftover wood. It had already some holes, so with just a little bit of polishing, I have a few different triangle shape, and I can force the metal into that, but also the wood is a bit softer than the hammer, so it shouldn't mark the metal. And I think it works pretty well. This was the first try, second try, and third, and I think this one looks very nice. There's not too much bumping. There is not a lot of texture. You can see the mark of the hammer over here. Another try was this one with just the hammer, and you can see all the texture of the hammer, which is also interesting, but not for this project. I want to make things with metal now. And this one, I wanted to see if I just made a little triangle, I could shape it into place without being folded all along like this. But it works, huh? It works. But I think this will look better. Let's get to work!
The pieces are ready maybe to be polished, so first I'm going to add a few holes so I can attach them to something. And the cat. Tu peux partir. Oh bah oui, je sais, mais bon. Look at the shine! I am so happy with this result. I think it looks so good. Is it an exact recreation? No, but my dress is going to be different anyway. It is going to have its own personality. After all, it is made with the work of all the people who participated. Remember that it is 287 different people from around the world. It's making me emotional just thinking about it. I am leaving for the US in 2 weeks. I'm literally finishing this video 1 hour before I have to post it. And then I have to go back and finish the dress. My whole life is just doing this. Let's work on those wide sleeves. The edges might become visible at some angles, so I'm encasing them in a green bias tape. Let's start to add some scales to them. Like with the skirt, I'm trying to start with the darkest colors. And when I run out, I switch to a slightly lighter one. They need to be organized again by size and also more precisely by shades in each box. This one is trying to help. I go slowly row by row, sewing them by machine. This was one of the rules for the people who sent me scales. I have to be able to sew them by machine. I know this is not the haute couture way, but we don't have time to sew them by hand, okay? And also I have to work on both sleeves at the same time, because they need to be symmetrical, and I don't know exactly how much fabric each color will cover. Okay, the green that I have left is getting too light, so I think I'm going to fill up here with the rest of the medium dark green. Marking the area that I want to fill up with chalk, then thread. I'm dividing the medium dark green scales into 2 equal piles and adding them one by one to this little area. Well, this is not going fast. Let's add some more green anyway. So I'm going creeping up the green over there until I'm on the shoulder. But the shoulder is going to be very rounded. So if I attach the scales like I do normally, you will see a lot between them. So I think I'm going to have them very dense right here on the shoulder. I hope this works. So I'm gonna fill up here. I have drawn some areas in pink thread. And this part will be light green and very flat because it's under the arm, so I don't want any rubbing on the dress. Let's go. I hope this is enough to fill this area. If I want to continue the jacket with the shoulders, I need to know where to go from here to here, but also to here from here. Which means I have to leave the jacket aside for now and continue on the body. So let's work on the skirt, but before I can know what's going on here, I need to know what's going on here, so I need to know where the placement of the middle thing here. Which means I'm gonna try it on. Here it is on, it's not completely closed in the back, but
It's fine. I'm going to mark exactly where the corset finishes and also where the metal abdomen is, so I can just fill it up with the scales on the sides. It's not that heavy for now. As I'm finishing the sides of the blue, I think I'm gonna fill over here, so I need to make a transition from blue to gold. There is some dark gold left, and also I have the beige and brown that I can work with. And with the blue here, the medium blue over here, I think I can have a nice transition. Also, I'm being watched.
I am now at a point on the dress where I just cannot fill up areas with just one color. I need to choose scales one by one, checking that the color is just right for where I'm putting them.
This is starting to look very, very nice on the front, so I need to fill up the back. Maybe I can finish the skirt today and close the back. So I need to finish purple here. It's gonna go pink, like bright pink. And as transition between the pink here and the dark blue, I'm gonna have the light blue over there, which I have the most of in this box. Let's go. We have some pink on the side. I need to finish the other side. I want the pink to stay in the middle. There's only this amount of pink, but I have some lighter pink over there. I'm going to fill between the dark blue and the pink. I'm going to fill with some lighter blue. So maybe I should do that first, and maybe then I can fill it up and finish the skirt. It is now time to close the skirt. I think I'm going to overlap the two back pieces, so we won't have any folding. I can match the scale without it being visible. The edge is protected, and it's going to have some reinforcement on the back where it's dragging on the floor, and it's going to have a lining. So this is a good way so I can match the colors.
Oh, it is getting too heavy for the machine. It's breaking the needles. I think I'm gonna have to finish sewing the whole back by hand. Let's just install an invisible zipper on the back and call it a day. I need to sleep. Good night. Good morning! I really love how every morning I come to my studio and I'm greeted by something more and more colorful. Forgive my head, I just woke up, okay?
Hello, gorgeous!
I thought I would continue on the jacket today, but to continue on the jacket I need the inside of the sleeves, which is red, and I also wanted to make the headpiece red. The headpiece is more visible, so I have to make sure that I don't use all the red for the sleeves. So before I make the jacket, I need to make the headpiece. Let's go with that. That's the plan.
Wow.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna clear up all the scales and start on cardboard.
Wow. I don't know. I've just watched like 6 drag queen videos about wigs and I'm really inspired, so I'm gonna try something. For the dress I did buy some hair wefts that are kind of my hair color. Kind of. I'm gonna try to see if I can make feathers out of hair. Let's try. I'm stronger than I thought. I take small strands of hair and soak them in a mix of wood glue and water. Combing them a little bit in a leafy shape.
Okay, I'm gonna leave these to dry and now we can work on the structure. Edges are serged and secured. Now let's get some wire. So I have my ear wings thing. Proportion is what I wanted. Let's see if I can sew them on a headband. Okay, so obviously this is not working out. No, but actually it is. Once the headband is secured, there is not much movement like this. So if I have just a second one with 2 points of attachment over here, there will not be any movement like this. So I think this is good enough. It is lightweight. I'm happy with this structure. Also, I kind of look like a goblin, which is not entirely incorrect. I think this works. I can make a few of those. They look like feathers, but if I make them smaller, it will be like scales right over there and it will blend into my own hair. I think that's what I want. I'm extremely happy with this. Look at that! So cool! Pesto? Nope.
And we are back on organizing some scales. But let's go for a new color.
I've selected a few scales to add on the ears. So these are aside and I can start sewing those onto the sleeve.
The inside of the sleeve is sewn on a separate layer as the outside. They will be attached together later, hopefully leaving a little space for a pocket. Some reinforcement on this layer as well, and we can add the red scales.
I will continue to fill these up until maybe here. Now I'm using only like flat and silky pieces because it's going to be on my elbow. It's not going to be very visible. These will be like the transition towards the flat lining. Okay, I need to finish filling up the sleeves, but I'm also trying to decide on the colors. The sleeves are green with a pop of red. There is a pop of red on the head. We have green coming up from here. Dark blue coming up from here with the gold at the front. Here will be dark blue and lighter blue. And with the pink train, I think I'm going to go lighter and lighter pink until it comes to white. So from here, the blue also needs to go towards white. The green needs to go towards white. And on the front, we have the big golden piece over there, and the color is probably going to be white. So like all the dark colors are coming to lighter, lighter, and lighter. I am thinking of doing rainbow boobs, but I'm not sure yet. I have plenty of blue left, a little bit of light pink, and I also have a lot of white and silver. Maybe I should go like silver in the center towards white as well. But I really like the rainbow idea. Sleeves are filled up, I just need the shoulder, but I need to make that after I attach it to the top, so let's start with that.
The jacket bodice is serged and the 4 pieces attached together. Hup! With the weight of the sleeves, I think there might be a lot of pulling on this side, so I'm gonna add an extra strip, like this. And now some bias to finish this edge.
Okay, we have a base. I will close the sides in the end so I can have it flat. It's like the opposite of picking flowers. You are
putting the petals back.
I have put away all the colors. For now, only leaving the most intricate ones.
After a careful consideration, I think I'm gonna ditch the train. The design is evolving as I am doing it. I don't have like a perfect plan. I don't think the train will add that much drama, and with the deadline going closer and closer, I prefer to make sure that I have a perfectly finished design than to rush a train that is going to be detachable anyways, which is giving me a little bit more time to add details. But also I'm now making decisions on scales to not go on the dress, which feels so awful. Obviously I knew from the start that I couldn't get every scale on the dress, but now I have actually to make the decision for this one yes, this one no. I feel like in this Malcolm episode.
Live, live, die. Live, 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 die.
Of course I'm not going to throw anything away, but still I hope people don't get mad that I didn't use all of those scales. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I will try to find other projects for them, but I'm so sorry. I might cry now. But also I'm so tired. Now I can attach the sleeves. But while I was evidently losing my mind sewing all the scales on, with the deadline going closer and closer, someone decided that it was the best time to hurt his leg, to the point where he needed surgery. This is him 2 days before. And this is him after.
Ça, c'est un petit chat complètement drogué.
Even though I chose the saddest music in the playlist, don't feel bad for him. The vet did a great job and he's fine now. Unlike my wallet. He's walking perfectly fine now. He just has a tiny scar on his leg. But we had to keep him inside for 10 days, and that is some foreshadowing regarding the dress.
Non, t'as pas le droit de sortir pendant 5 jours. Dehors, c'est pas pour les petits chats en convalescence. Okay, I finished the shoulders, where I have the top of the last scales. I'm planning on putting this one, because all the sides are clean. Same on this side. Now we need to finish the underarm, because nothing is attached, actually. It's not finished, but... it looks so cool! This is definitely going to be the most beautiful thing ever. Bah ouais.
I finished adding all the scales on the corset. I'm just missing like the boobs, but I will make this piece separately and add them on top of that. So I'm going to go in front of my TV show and secure all those scales by hand because they are moving around, which is not good for a corset. I want them all flat.
I'm taking the jacket, the corset, and all of my colors of thread, and I'm going to sit in front of my show for probably 5 hours.
Take out both copies and throw them into the side of a mountain. Worlds within worlds.
New day, same sweater, don't judge me. I've secured all the scales on the back of the corset, so now they are not moving around. And also they stay close to the waist, which is nice because the corset is supposed to remove some volume here. Look at that! And also that nice pink back. And I still can access the eyelets over there, but I'm going to secure them even more after. But that's the finishing touches. Anyways, let's work on the boobies. The metal stops right there, so I'm going to use this foam thing from an old sports bra. And I'm going to sew the scales on those so I can add them separately. And for that I'm going to use the medium blue scales, which the cat has kind of messed up, but that's okay. So I can make like a very dense thing. I want to adapt the collar on my neck. I have some snaps on the back, just a pointy side and little tip if you want to fit on yourself. You just take whatever pen you have and color the tip, then make sure it fits. Press it down. And you end up with kind of a mark here. And that's why I have to sew the other side. Bon, it's not very tight, but we'll be fine for now. Old t-shirt. I'm adding a few stitches to the cup so it keeps its shape. This one is still floppy. Yeah, I think that works. Now I have to take it off. I have to remove everything so I can sew them on properly. I'm trying to concentrate, but look at this! We are getting close to the end of the scales. Here I have what is left of the fancy big ones, and here we have all the medium by color. This is only what I have left, like the most intricate ones. So I'm going to try to fit as many as I can on the dress, also making the gradients better. For example, here this one and this one, they don't really belong here. And after that I can move away all the scales and start on the hair, with the little guy staying here. He betrayed me! Okay, I kind of want to cry right now. It is kind of funny, but also... The cat peed on my dress! Après tout ce que j'ai fait pour toi! Tu t'en fous! Tu t'en fous! He peed right there! Oh, I'm gonna try to clean it up. He has never peed inside. This is the most precious thing in my whole house! I told everyone the scales had to be washable, so I guess we will see now. Look at that smug little face. So as I'm working on adding the last scales on it, and this one is sleeping peacefully, the dress is drying here. There's still a few drops of water, so I put a plastic container on the floor. I smell the whole skirt everywhere like a dog. I'm very sensitive to smell, so I didn't want anything relating to cat pee. But we are safe. The dress smells fresh. I don't see any damage from the water. I don't think we lost any beads. I did find 3 of those in the wash water and 1 of those, and a bit of glitter, but the rest seems fine. And if I leave it to dry like this, we shouldn't have too much wrinkles, so I don't need to iron, because I don't know if that would be possible. We're safe. For now. Back to work. As I'm putting away the yellow and the orange, I have found these and I really want to incorporate them, even though I don't really have orange on the dress. But I think I can add them to the red.
am done with the scales. They are all back in the box, organized by color so I can use them for other projects. I've added all I could to the dress while still looking nice. I'm so sorry that I couldn't use everything on the dress. I hope you're not sad that your scale isn't on the dress. There was just too much. I'm starting to get ideas for other projects, but I don't know what to think about it now. If you have suggestions, you can put them in the comments. I'm leaving in a few days and I need to start on the hair. Yes, the hair. I know not everyone is going to agree on this, but I'm gonna add a lot of hair now. I've worked on many wigs before, so these are the wefts that I have left. This is from Sailor Moon, this is from Chibi Moon, this was Sailor Mercury, I don't know if I can use those. These from my Ariel wigs, various destroyed black wigs that I have left. Yes, I keep everything. These I bought extra for this project. It's the color of my hair. And also I have those because I don't have a reasonable explanation for this. The original has a lot of hair on it, especially at the bottom of the sleeves, the bottom of the dress, and as you can see on those pictures, all along the back. What they used was actually horsehair, which is a lot more rigid than human hair or synthetic hair. But first, let's get things straight. So I've tried several things. This is the hair with hairspray, this is the hair with a silicone spray, and this is the hair with some wood glue. I'm gonna leave them to dry completely and we'll see which technique is the best. And while this is drying, let's work on making more of those little feather things. I'm gonna let this dry for now. I don't know yet if I have enough for both wings. Maybe, we'll see. And now let's go back to our pieces of hair. So, see, my main problem is that when I'm going to attach it in many places, I don't want it to be tangled in all the sequins, the glitter, and all the little things that are going to snag the hair. Hairspray, silicone, and glue. For reference, this is just untreated. Okay, so no treatment is definitely the worst. It's already very tangled, so if I had the whole dress like this, disaster. A bit of hairspray might work, but it's not enough. Maybe I can add the hairspray at the end a little bit. Silicone is great. It's a little bit more stringy, but I think it's like more towards horsehair. And the glue also worked well, but I'm worried about like the white residue. I don't know if you can see it well on the camera. It's a little bit here. So I think I'm gonna go with silicone and maybe at the end a bit of hairspray before I get out. Good combo.
The wefts are removed from their little clip, straightened and siliconed. Then many hours of hand sewing all of those wefts all over the dress. I'm trying to balance everything out, putting the right colors in their own area. I'm hoping for the flowy, creepy effect that you can see on the original. All of this hair will now need a big haircut. Probably one of the weirdest hairstyling job ever.
I've cut the hair on this side, not this side yet. I think it looks so good. I hope this is not too long, it won't get too tangled. Maybe I will cut more of the pink here. I'm gonna add a bit more black here because it's a bit empty now. It's looking so good, I love it. I know some people might hate it and think it's a bit creepy, which it absolutely is. I'm gonna cut the blonde a little bit more so you can see more of the gold. Maybe a bit more black here and here.
This dress has been my inspiration for so many years. It is definitely my dream dress. The deadline is getting so close now, and I realize that I will probably have to do a lot of hand sewing while I will be in New York. But it is worth it for such a nice project. This is actual proof of a community working together on a single project. 287 people participated and sent skills. This is basically a moving library of fabric from around the world. But you watching this video is also helping me and supporting this channel. And of course the Patreons. Some of them have sent me scales as well, and some of them I will meet in the US. Thank you so much for supporting my work however you do it. I always thought that this project would never be possible. It is a celebration of crafting all around the world and love for fashion and sparkly things. Okay, just a few more steps before I have to pack. I sewed some reinforcement on the waistband and added a black satin finishing on the outside with the lining on the inside. There is still so much hand sewing to do, but I have to pack. Now, how heavy is it gonna be? Take your guesses. Yay, no need for a second suitcase. These are the wings, everything is underneath, and the dress is here. My precious. My next video will be about the trip to the US, but it is not this one. But on my 10 days there, I did some hand sewing on the dress every day. Fortunately, I had some company with the best camera woman in the world, Aliota.
Je dispose d'images exclusives.
The finishing touches went well. My poor fingers.
Eh, dis, est-ce que...
Until we have arrived in Florida, and of course, they lost my luggage with the dress.
Un petit sanglot?
So nothing to do but wait for the airline to find my suitcase. I was very anxious about it, but we did go to Disneyland, so I'm not complaining. I really thought that the work of 300 people was lost forever. But the suitcase finally arrived at the hotel after a day, so everything is fine. And that means back to more hand sewing. And the very final touches before the dress is ready to be worn. That is about 200 hours of work for me, which drove me very close to insanity. And I believe 1,000 more if you combine all the work of all the people who work on all those little intricate scales. Are you ready? Don't forget to subscribe! Téléphone
T'as toujours
dans ma poche. Ah, les épingles.
T'as toujours tes barrettes. Attends. Et hop là.
La poignée, si tu veux, on appuie sur ça là. Ouais. Si tu peux la pencher, du coup c'est plus facile.
Bienvenue en Floride.
Welcome. Come to the booth. Say hi. Ah, tu filmes.
Ah oui, je te filme, pardon.
Sewing, crafting, girls, gays, which is fine. I love it.
Vas-y, lève les bras tout doucement.
Came to see this on display.
It's gonna be tomorrow on display. I know I like it. Elevator.
Ouais, tu te retournes vers le sapin. Tu montes le visage vers le sapin. Yes. Ouais, je te filme.
C'est ma boule.